Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening on the Talk and Sip Saturday night. And hope you're well. And thank you for those joining me on Instagram, those on TikTok, those on Facebook, and as well. And you're free to enter into the discussion tonight. And the discussion that I'm going to have tonight, really and truly, it's talk about. I would say it's about creating successful ventures. In 2004, taking the momentum to another level, and talk about the African Caribbean diaspora as well, and how we can be effective. I believe, as I've said, 2024 cannot be the same as how it was in previous years. You know, many things have come over into 2023, but hey, we've got to make 2020. Many things from 2023 has come over into 2024, but we got to make it, change the whole game. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the show for today. Let's start. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming on tonight. Welcome for those on YouTube. Welcome to those on Facebook. Welcome to those on TikTok. And I'm using all different platforms, and feel free to join in. And, I'm just going to bring in my good colleague as well for here, Mr. Herbert Mosheta. How are you doing, sir, today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. And and ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask the question. Of course, it is, what are you drinking today? You know, what are you drinking? I'll go first with Herbert. Herbert, what are you drinking today?
I'm just having a hot drink.
Having a hot drink. I
Yeah.
tell you what, I'm having a hot drink as well, and it's coffee. It's not Blue Mountain coffee, but the cup is a Jamaican cup. You can see all the different parishes. It's
So, so
was was a
come
nice
from Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it from a district, or is it from a district or anything like that? Just checking.
No, it is from the city of Amsterdam.
Okay, so it's not from any particular district or so. Just
No, it's not from a district.
not from a district.
No.
I also have some blueberry drink which I'm gonna drink as well. As well. And ladies and gentlemen, for those on Facebook, those on TikTok, what are you drinking? Kawasa, all the way from Pakistan or Bangladesh? Where are you from again? Remind me. My social media guru. Where you from again? And those, please tell us, what are you drinking tonight? Talk and Sip Saturday night. Talk and Sip Saturday night is a show which was developed in the whole period of 2020, during the COVID period, whereby people had to come together on different platforms to sort of, what should I say, cope. It's more like a coping mechanism still. And I created it as a part of my show, because we couldn't meet each other personally and one to one, but we felt that it was very important to also have a relaxing and a chilled environment. It's like a rum bar setting, or a wine bar setting, where people can sit and have a conversation and talk about different things, you know. And one of the things I want to talk about tonight, and I'm breaking into different areas. We're gonna look at opening ventures, creating successful ventures in 2024. I also want to look at children not protected, and as I touch on a couple of things regarding in Jamaica, and we're talking from homebound, but at the same time, I believe it is something which is resonating around the world. And there are a couple of things about some airplane crash, which we with Sherbert we're going to touch on as well. And finally, there have been two significant press release from the uh, Advocacy Network and the National Integrity Action in Jamaica, what their 2004 setting is. And I think also I need to say as well, Herbert, I believe it is Happy New Year because this is the first time we have been on this to everybody for this year, isn't it? It's
Yes, our first show for the year.
yeah, yeah. So it's a Happy New Year, and there you go, Happy New Year, 2024. What are you dream? I don't have it, but I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. But there's this guy named Beethoven, yeah, and
You're pronouncing
Beethoven,
it wrong, mate.
eh?
You're pronouncing it wrong. It's Beethoven.
Oh, it's Beethoven. Okay, okay, okay. I'm happy to be corrected because, you know, but in the image I have of Beethoven, there's something he says: "Never let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do." You know, just look at Beethoven. Everyone told him he would never be a musician because he was deaf. But guess what he said? But he did not listen.
Well, the 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 thing is, do it and then look at them and say, yes, I did it. And so what?
Yeah, yeah.
Richard
He
Branson's one of Richard Branson's teacher told him that he will be in prison by the time he reached 20.
really.
Yeah, he was a trouble. He wasn't, I wouldn't say troubled, but he was a challenge enough in school. He was dyslexic.
Mm. Could it be that he would be in prison in the plane or the rockets going into space?
No, he would have been in Belmarsh or one of those prisons in England.
Yeah, yeah. And there's the image which I have here. I got the image here, and here it is. Never let anyone tell you what you cannot do. You know, never let anyone tell you
Mm,
what you cannot do.
yeah,
Just look at Beethoven. Everyone told him he would never be a musician just because he was deaf, but did he listen? And I think also one of the point about that, Herbert, is that a person may have a vision or a plan or a dream, but then someone may come and try to talk them out of it, you know, and try to spook them out of it. But as in the case of Beethoven, it was just obvious he did not listen because of course he couldn't hear. So therefore, some we have to put a thing over ear sometimes,
yeah, yeah. I think I said this to one of my brothers a few years back that the best
Yes.
drivers of the cars is seated in the back seat.
Mm. The best what?
Right? The best drivers of the car is seated in the back seat.
Really?
Yes. They can see every twist and turns and they can maneuver it
Mm.
until you give them the car to drive. They
The car
can't
to
move it.
drive, and that's another thing as well.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to a domino game where the person not playing the domino game can make every move possible?
Well, the thing about domino, which I find very fascinating, is that I never understand how they actually smash up that table and somehow fit it back together.
Yeah, those are
You got
domino
bang,
connoisseurs.
eh?
Domino connoisseurs.
Yeah. Are you a domino person?
No, no. I was never drawn to the game for the simple fact that when I was young in Jamaica, um, there were too many people being killed playing dominoes.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. People getting six love or didn't think it was fair. Man gets stabbed, man gets shot, or man is playing dominoes on a corner at a bar or something. Man walk up and shot all four. People just. I was never drawn to it.
And that's because of playing domino.
I would say because of um outside things,
Uh-huh.
but the most common place to find them is at a domino table.
Uh, uh.
So I was never drawn to it. That thing put me to sleep.
Michelle Clark, good afternoon, and in the states there, were you a domino fan, or can you play domino, and you mash up the table as well, you know?
So
And
Michelle mash up the table when she now win.
you know, one of the things that I was looking at, and I was thinking about this in a way regarding ventures, you know, the Caribbean, Africa, and I believe we're in this era now where we are innovators. People should be innovators and trailblazers, you know, to the pinnacles of what should I say, entrepreneurial exploration, creating successful ventures for 2024. This is what we call collaboration, working with other people at this time. I believe very strongly that governments are there to somewhat set the environment, set the stage, but not should be in a position where one relies and heavily dependent on government. I mean to say, whichever government come in, one will be able to be successful, you know. And the entrepreneurial prowess of what I say the African and the Caribbean diaspora, um, and that's a tribute to the Indelible mark. I know a friend of mine who said he's not going to Jamaica this year; he's going to go to Africa because Africa is awakening, you know, and and the convergence of cultures, ideas, creating successful ventures. 2024 serves as a tapestry weaving together the rich narratives, innovative spirits that flow from the African and Caribbean diaspora. You know, they talk about the beats of the Caribbean island. That is just one aspect, but there's a massive legacy that one needs to tap into. O'Neill, our good colleague, always talks about the African diaspora, how they try to play a part in harnessing government in the United Kingdom. Not well, in the USA, he's talking about in the USA, where they pull together to tap into senators, tap into congressmen to make a big difference for not just political but for business, you know. And and in this dynamic landscape where innovation knows no boundaries, creating successful ventures again, 2024 beckons, and that beckons people, beckons us, Black people, African, Caribbean ancestry, diaspora, to be embrace the shared heritage, experiences, and aspiration that bind African and Caribbean diaspora together. Everybody else is binding, um, you know, Herbert. The Jews are binding themselves together. The Asians are binding themselves together, and I believe it's an opportune time for while the nations of the Caribbean um, may be somewhat dealing with a lot of issues regarding politics and you know the drama which is up in Jamaica. Let us not get distracted into all of this, but try to pull together on the in an international level. You know, what's your talk? What's your thoughts? And ladies and gentlemen, what's your thoughts on that opening which I've just set out there? And I'll go to Michelle as well. Michelle is saying something. Michelle says she loves dominoes. When my family get together, dominoes have a play, and we take it seriously. Why? And anybody else? And, Silver, you know, look like a man that play dominoes. All right, one second. You go and talk, Herbert. I'm going to pick up a domino. We're going to pick up a domino. Yeah, you go and talk. You go and talk,
I
Herbert.
mean, when we look at ventures and stuff, um, I think our fear of stepping out into the unknown has cost us dearly along the way.
Are you talking?
Yeah, I think our fear of stepping out into the unknown has cost us dearly along the way.
Yeah.
Where you have your ideas and you sit on them
Yes.
until you see someone come with the same idea or even a bit of what you are thinking about and make it into something wholesome.
Yes.
So we have to be mindful of how we limit ourselves.
Yeah. See that? It's all in plastic, you know.
Silver, silver. That was a pack of souvenir you got from somebody, you know.
I got about I got
And
about I got about six pack of
eh?
I got about six pack, and I tell you what, it's embarrassing. It is Swift Cash money transfer, which doesn't exist anymore from many years
Doesn't
ago.
exist anymore.
And I got my pack of pack of dominoes sealed. Michelle, it is
That's just
sealed.
that is a souvenir.
Souvenir, Michelle, sealed. Never been never never been played, you know. Um yeah. But you're saying on a serious note though about the whole aspect of pulling together,
Yeah,
working together. Yeah.
yeah. The fear of work stepping into the unknown,
Mm,
or you may you may have surrounded yourself with people that are not of like mind,
mm,
right? And you may say something, you may have an idea, they may see you going at something, and soon they make it yours, as if you didn't have anything to do with it.
yeah.
Like this song Jerusalem, this Afrobeat, Jerusalem. You know that song, right?
Yeah. Jerusalem. Yeah, that one was going around. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy that sing it, he was not the creator of it.
He wasn't.
No.
Mm,
But the actual creator didn't benefit from it. And it happens so many times in business or in showbiz.
yes.
So it's not like people do not feel or have the urge to go forward, but sometimes we are not bold enough to step.
Mm. Bold enough to step. Hi, hi, Marine. How are you? And anyone from Instagram, TikTok, if you want to join in as well. I believe it is one of the things that I pick up over the years sometimes is you know, and I'm gonna go back to the whole thing regarding the Afro hair industry and the business which is happening in the UK. And if you recall the whole recent a few months ago where there was this girl who was being
Yeah.
manhandled by the owner. And I was speaking to someone, I think of Rudy Page, I was speaking about. I said, what has happened since that? Do you know what has happened since that? Has there been any breakthrough as the, you know, what has happened since that? Is there been a pulling together whereby the Afro Caribbean community has taken over or amassed themselves in a way?
Silver,
I know you're gonna,
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but
yeah,
it's not going to happen, right?
yeah,
Let me tell you why it won't happen.
mm,
We as black people, we do not have variety,
mm,
right? We do not have spontaneity. Because if if I am selling hair cream, you can bet your bottom dollar that someone's coming to set up shop beside me selling the same product,
yeah,
right? And until we are able to tap into whatever special need is there for an item and sell it,
mm,
encouraging others to sell like product, not the same product, but get into the business of selling other products. we will not be successful.
But Herbert, in Chinatown, you got
Mhm.
so many restaurants, and they're all Chinese
Yes,
restaurants next to each other.
yes. Have you ever wondered that most of those restaurants or the car wash that you see in London, the
Mm.
car wash place that you see in London, do you know that they're part of an organized crime ring that we cannot do without? The government knows about it, but they're afraid of doing something about it
You mean to say like
because
there's some sort of syndicate, some
yeah, yeah,
organized
yeah,
organized.
organized crime,
Yes. Mm.
right? Because if you go to a car wash to wash your car this week, it's £15,
Yeah.
and you go to another one, you think that you'll get it for cheaper. It's the same £15,
Mm.
right? So it's they're all part of a transnational and organized crime syndicate, money laundering,
So it doesn't make sense.
right?
It discourages you from going to the next person. Then, if anything.
Yeah, you stick to the person that you always go to
Mm.
because when his increase comes, the others down the road around the corner, their increase is coming as well.
Mm. Mm. So therefore, okay. What I know. Last week we were talking with O'Neill, and O'Neill was saying like Jamaica is like the Mecca. Is going to be at the very forefront of the Caribbean in a few years from now, and looking at it from that aspect, because one can get sort of focus so much on the government and see all the different obstacles in the way. But at the same time, as Ani was talking about, there's so much great potential which is out there. The people just harness it, because many people for argument's sake, from different countries going to Jamaica, um, and setting up shop. But somebody reminded me the other day to say they are setting up shop because they have massive, powerful tax break. They have massive, powerful incentive, which is there for them, unlike the average Jamaican bloke. But what it is talking about, you're seeing business. A friend of mine I was speaking to earlier today, and he set up, he's got his business there, and and he say it's difficult, even though he's going through with getting loans, um, you know, and so therefore there is a potential which is there. At the same time, Michelle, what you said, Michelle said, that's nothing new, Herbert. Black people are the original inventors, and European benefit from our inventions. Yeah. Um, yes, because yes, as Michelle said, they get the tax break, get this fundamental tax break. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Michelle, right? But let's go back to our little island of Jamaica.
Yes.
If you're going back to set up a business
Mm.
and you go back to your beloved Ocherius,
Yes. Island in the sun.
what are your prospects of coming out on top in Ocherius?
That's that can be deemed to be difficult without a fundamental plan, isn't it, Herbert? That would have to be without having a clear plan of action. But
Right.
one would, well, you think it will be very difficult?
In a sense, let me tell you why.
Mm.
You will always be that that you two used to go, not York Castle,
Yes.
right? And who is trying to come back to Jamaica now, come see if he can make life, because nothing not going for my ferry.
Yes.
As opposed to, you know what? Me know this brother you see me set up a restaurant on a OT, and me know him long time.
Mm.
Let's go support him.
Yeah.
They walk past your restaurant to another establishment, a more established restaurant, to support that one instead of
Mm.
coming to you, the person that
Yeah.
they know a long time. So that is the struggle that we face, especially in our beloved island.
Mm.
You'll always be that little boy who used to wear school barefoot, or Miss Matty, little boy from a Canada who used to get enough trouble.
Mm.
You'll always be that person.
Mm. What? Okay. Okay. What are other persons' views? And I'm gonna get Lester. Lester's gonna come on shortly as well. Because what I want to do is to delve a bit deeper into this at the same time. You know. Let me see. Wake up, blogging God.
Manners, Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
man,
is that
coming,
first? Oh, yes, yes, right. First, Happy New Year,
man,
Lester.
coming
Hold
from a
on.
hangover.
Were you hanging over? Were you hanging over, Lester?
No, no, I don't
You
drink.
you weren't. Oh no, Lester and I we are very serious about our health thing because the whole health factor, isn't it, Lester? You know?
Oh, the first month of the year, yeah? Let me get
No
it
man,
right.
no, no man. Tell him, Lester. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Michelle, is that Michelle there? You have a background there, Michelle. Let me see if it is.
Her device is up.
Yeah. Lester, I opened there are four strands of tonight, which which I want to talk about. Four strands, and that is the creating successful ventures in 2024. The bit about children being protected or unprotected in Jamaica, the airplane crash in Jamaica, and also two significant press release that came out from Advocacy Network and NIA. I want to touch on these 4 points. I sort of expanded a bit on the opening ventures a bit, and we're talking about the African Caribbean diaspora pulling together. While we have government there setting the mechanism, but really and truly, one should not really um, zero in so much on that, but being able to create opportunities in 2024, taking it away from the doom and gloom. What's your take on that, Lester? Michelle, I think
Well,
you're go on. Yeah, yeah, go on,
I,
Lester.
yeah, I was watching earlier, listening to Herbert and you conversation. Um, but let me take it back quickly. Before downtown Kingston was overrun with Chinese persons, the Jamaicans had the same opportunity to occupy those shops and those spaces also, right?
Yeah.
The then government, the Right Honorable Michael Manley,
Mm,
offered Jamaicans that opportunity.
mm,
Many Jamaican businesses did not take it up. Many Jamaican businesses opted to go to Half a Tree and New Kingston,
yes.
right? So what we're and if you notice in Half a Tree and New Kingston, you have more black people, black people operating businesses there.
Yes.
Um, Now downtown, and we know the turmoil in the 70s and stuff like that, but Jamaican people were offered the same opportunity.
Mm,
So when I hear the argument of that, Chinese getting this or foreigners getting this, many of the opportunities Jamaicans are offered them also, it may not be the same tune, it
mm,
may not be to the same tune, but Jamaicans are offered the same benefits also.
yes.
So we rejected it, especially in our centers. We rejected it, and other persons saw it fit and saw an opportunity and took it up. So
Yes.
let us not be quick to curse the government of the day. I mean, not just JLP, not about the government on a whole,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because this thing is a conversation that has been successive governments and people have had this conversation. You know,
Mm,
um, But I heard Herbert say that you're not going to support and things like that. I disagree with that.
Mm.
And him share my opinion, but I disagree. We are seeing now more persons supporting local entrepreneurs more than ever before now. Because what happened now, the local entrepreneurs are kind of meeting the people to the what the market is demanding. So people are making a substantial living from them enterprise or them open.
Yeah.
The problem we are having is the infrastructure, right?
Mhm.
The loan, the loan, getting the loan, the payback of the loan, and opening accounts and these things. But once you get over the hurdle there, it's not much of a problem in terms of support of your business. Once your business is targeting the market needs.
And
So
go
sorry,
Herbert, go Herbert, go Herbert.
sorry, I haven't um gone to Jamaica to do any form of business yet, right? So I think you may be right. I'm not saying anything about it, but what I know from the time I lived there, which was half of my life, that was the sentiments that was around at the time. So maybe over time things has changed, and black people are now getting support for local people are now getting support from their local consumers.
Listen, I came off the phone today with a virgin of mine who grew up in Ocherius and stuff like that, and he has a factory, and what he was talking about, and let's just touch a bit about you know while he's seeing his business moving, taking off, but he also struggles a bit sometimes, like getting loans and all those sort of things, but he sees it taking it off, and I reached out to him because I said to him I want to support his business from overseas, and we have been talking in different ways how some of this stuff can be exported, and that is where I believe about the whole collaboration and pulling together, and and Les also is embarking on some business venture, and of course that business venture wouldn't be a venture without him actually seeing some headway into Jamaica, into breaking different grounds. Hold on, Michelle, you're there, yeah?
Yes, I am. I'm
Yeah,
listening. I'm not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Breaking into different grounds. So I believe that the mindset a lot will have to be shifted away in a way, because the Virgin said to me, the Virgin said to me, him say him love doing business with the Chinese because the Chinese will just take out the money and pay right away. I mean, him love doing business with the Chinese because they just pay right away. Him said sometimes him can't get the payment from sometimes our own people, you know what I mean? But him said the Chinese will just pay him right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Michelle,
But
what do you
Silbert,
go on?
our mutual friend. No, no, no. I'll let Michelle come in.
No, no. Go ahead, Lester. I'm
Go on.
listening for right now,
Yeah, go on,
and
Michelle.
then I have
Oh,
my
like
input.
Silbert, our mutual friend Kidis, McCoy
Yes,
from Jesse's
we were
Gift and
mentioning.
Decor.
Yes.
Yeah, Kidis in last year, late last year, opened a new business alongside the printing business. She's now not interior decorating. What you call it? Events planning, right?
Mm,
And all of us that got me and Kidis grew up together. So
yeah.
we have friends that work in banking, work in insurance, working in music, working in different. We all pull and give her business. So once a
Mm,
friend said, I have a friend getting married, Michelle getting married.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever,
So
Lester.
so Michelle getting married, right?
Just an example, Michelle. You
You
just
don't
pick.
know what's wrong with him, but
just just
go
just
on
just a
through.
just a far example, Michelle, right? So we would say to the friend, hey, we know somebody who can do the decoration for your wedding, you know.
Mm,
So we in the group throw business towards kiddies. So what is happening? We see more Jamaicans collaborating now more than ever. The amount of boards and businesses you see in boards is a part of, right?
Well,
Um, when you went to KLE for Houston Bolt Trucks and Records, they just wanted to use his name and give him royalties. So he said to Gary Matalan, no, I want to be a part of the company. So they said, all right, come in with a certain amount of money and you get 5% and things like that. So he's now a part of KLE, Kingston Life Entertainment, of a large conglomerate. But he's
Yeah.
also a part of many other businesses that is opening up and startup
but
ventures and stuff like that. So
it goes back
go
to
ahead,
who
Michelle.
you know. It goes back to who you know. So this is where it's going. Where the liquor people and we all try a business now. If you don't know one on one, you're not getting no business. You ain't getting up there. It's just like here, where if you go to college and you graduate in a fraternity, and you're in a fraternity, you will always know that there's somewhere that you're gonna go that somebody will pull you up because you were in that fraternity. So it goes to the same thing. What you're just saying, Lester. It's all in who you know. The liquor one them now gonna get a chance because them now get the loan because them don't know about it and them caliber it. So it
So
goes
listen,
back
it was the
to
same thing I
the
said
individual.
earlier. It's the same thing I
But
said
Michelle,
earlier
what I
about
but
I'm listening.
Go
go
ahead.
ahead,
Go
Everett.
ahead, Lester.
yeah, it's the same thing I said earlier about opening an establishment, and because of you little boy from around the corner around this one,
Right.
you always get trouble when you grow up. Nobody knows support you. They walk past your establishment and go to a different one. It's the
Lester
same thing I
just said
said.
it. It's all in who you know. You see, all them say them come up through school together. Them know people who in the banking business. Them know who people. It's all in who you know. So you as a little man in a Jamaica try a little thing and now make it.
So,
Now
but
just make
therefore,
it so
but,
easy.
but but therefore, according to what Lester said, then there's a trick there. There's a trick there in actually keeping your network and building up on your networks. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a
Thank
but
part.
you.
I'm a
it,
part.
it, it
One second, Herbert. I'm a part of my YC group, Yorkcaster group. I'm a part of Ochurious group as well, and if you have people in the groups like they come out and they say they're doing something or whatever like that, and people will sort of want to support them based on, what should I say, sentiments, and based on relationship. So therefore, maybe what we need to do is to start to think about um, how we can then capitalize on it instead of saying is who you know. But then when we check it out, we know enough people too. If you
But
want to,
Yes.
Silver,
Yeah, we can talk like
Silver,
that, but the little average man in a Jamaica, we all said try it
won't
for
be able to
start a
talk like that.
business. It
Mich-
now work like that. Silburn. He's not
Michelle,
in a group.
That's not true. Michelle, that's not true, Michelle. Hold on, Michelle, hold on. The same little man, most of the time, a little person, in our partner. Them in a partner with 10 person. So the same way how they know say boy, say Silver mother I keep I have a partner, right? So somebody tell them it is you have to put yourself out there. If you're going on a business, you have to put yourself out there, you have a network, you have to know your market space. You
Mm-hmm.
have to
yeah,
go out there and see it business. But let me give you an example of something. The same little man. Cause we love boost up the little man and go like say we're sorry for the little man more than anybody else. A girl hit me up on Facebook and said to me, say, um, she can't get no work and Tova, that are the MP for the Trelawney, to I pay a friend thing Tova deal with. And cause she want a farm work, cause she want any type of work, right? I said to the girl, I know she said she not vote again. And I say, you go down to the MP office? She said no. So I said, hold on there. So the MP are the friend thing. She said yes. So I said, you go down to the MP office? No. So I said, how the MP are gonna know so you want a job? How the MP are gonna know? I say, so you think the MP if you leave our office and come here, yeah, come give you one job? No. So I said, all right. So tomorrow, go to the MP office, start to the secretary, tell the secretary that Lester send you, right? Put down your name and tell them, say, boy, you're qualified in this area in a hard certification and you want this type of job availability or if any type of work, farmer, whatever. Mister, at least your name is there. Not only that, too, don't just go one time, consistently go so the MP get to know you. So you become one of the MP friend them too. So you can get opportunity to get something also. Right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to make the effort also as a little person.
Of course,
But you
of
can't cuss
course.
and say nothing now go on. The MP are doing nothing are no opportunity to do it. And nobody know you.
Mm. Let me
That's
It
Herbert,
a
don't
whole
work like
different
that.
scenario
Herbert,
onto what we are talking about.
Herbert, you say something, and I got Kiddis. Kiddis is gonna come in and give us a perspective of operating business in Jamaica as well. Herbert, you're gonna say something first.
No, I'm listening now.
Yeah, you know. Okay. Um. Uh, I'll wait for Kiddis to
Hi, hi guys.
Hi.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you? Let's call your name so somehow you're let's say you just magic.
I appeared. Good
Lester,
evening,
you just
everyone.
call her name, Lester, she just appear. Oh, you do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
magic.
man.
Let's tell them.
I saw the brownie them go on. I saw the
Herbert,
brownie
Herbert,
them go
that's
on.
Herbert, that's business in Herbert. Herbert, that's business.
Let's tell the miracle worker.
Hi, everyone. Evening.
Hello,
Hi,
evening.
kiddies. How are you doing?
Hello.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Same to you guys.
Yeah. Kiddies, I just we're talking about ventures
Mhm.
for 2024,
Mhm.
operating in ventures and looking at business because my program, I talk about different things and sometimes we got to be careful. We don't just talk about things that make people just, oh, life is terrible. But we need to show that there's opportunities and things that can happen right at yard.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Give us your experience. Okay, let's look at it this way. People want to do business in Jamaica, and sometimes people say find it hard.
Mhm.
Tell us about some of the tips in operating in Jamaica.
First things first, I always tell people that there's always a need, right?
Mm,
And wherever there's a need, that
Mm-hmm.
creates opportunity for you to start a business.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
And so one of the things that I did recently that I heard Lester talking about earlier was in late 2022, I started an event planning business because what I identified was that with COVID behind us, people
yeah,
were looking to go back outside. Events were, picking up again. That was an opportunity there. There was
yeah.
a need. And so I saw that need, I filled the need, and over a year later, I've worked with corporate companies, government agencies, individuals, you name it, to
Mm,
execute and plan and decorate events. And so the important thing there, see the need, fill the need. Also consistency.
yes.
So you might find that you have a beginner's luck, you start a business, it's doing well, but then you fall off. It doesn't work like that. You
Mm,
have to be willing to put in the work, be consistent in supplying that need to your clientele, right? Know who your
yes.
client is, know who your target market is. I again speaking to the event side of business, because I have another business as well. Know your target.
Yes.
What I realized, or what I found, was that the requests I was getting for events came mostly from corporate companies, and so I kind of kept my focus there. I didn't try to do every little event that comes up, every pan that knock around to it. No, you have to know who your target market is, who your customer is. You create what we call a customer avatar, right?
Mm,
What does your ideal client look like? And you know how to serve that client based on what their description is. And so in December, for example, I think I did 3 events in one weekend, and they were all
yes.
corporate events because that is who I'm targeting. That is who is reaching out to me, and that is where I see it makes sense for doing business. I'm looking into, me by now. You can call
Yeah.
me a serial entrepreneur if you want, but I'm always looking again for new opportunities and new things to get into, right?
Yes.
And so for this year, I have something in my mind mulling. And I'm not gonna say, give too much information about what that is, but
Yes.
there's always opportunities. Still burning and everyone else. We'll talk about the doom and gloom and what's not going so right, but in everything that is not going so right, there's something that can possibly go, you know,
Yeah.
correct.
Can I
So we
just
talk
ask a
about.
yeah, yeah, go on.
I see
Leighton.
Let's talk over there showing off. We
Yeah,
can't help it, right?
um
So
Leighton.
let me show you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm breastfeeding, by the way, guys, because I have a newborn.
Okay. All right.
So
Happy New
I
Year.
look a
Happy.
little bit raggedy, that's why. But I'm wearing a top.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm wearing a top that says "Woman of Value," and that is my personal brand, for
Yes.
example. And I would have launched this line a couple years ago. What
Mm.
I'm looking into is, instead of me branding and doing these things myself, I'm looking to bring these things in bulk from China or LA or wherever and just
Yes.
selling them back here. People might say, "Oh, that's so impossible. That's going to be hard to do." Da da da. There's always a way to make it happen. You just have to just do your research,
Yes.
find a way to make it happen, and execute. It's all hard work. It's not no magic. It's not luck. It's hard work.
Yes. I just have an idea. Leighton, are you
Yeah.
there?
Yes, I'm there, Silver.
Uh,
Good evening,
okay.
everyone.
Good evening. Leighton produced these products here in the UK. Lakelas. That's
Mm-hmm.
their
Be
business
clear.
there. Lakelas,
Okay.
yeah. And I'm gonna do something now. Uh, Leighton, Kiddis is in Jamaica there, and Kiddis is a person that anybody wants something, she'll find it for them and get it. Am I promoting you right? Yeah.
I'm the plug.
She's a plug. She's a
Okay.
plug. And
Okay.
Leighton, you're in the UK of Jamaican parentage as well, and you're doing your business. What
Yes.
business could you do with Kiddis, in a sense, in Jamaica? Tell us about your product and Kiddis. And let me see. Let's see if something can go on. Let me see something. I was testing something in the waters. Tell us about your product, Leighton.
Okay. Well, we have a few other umbrella though, Silver. But yes, the main one you know about is Lee Carter's, where we make natural skincare, hair care, body products.
Yeah.
We've been here over 5 years at the moment, and we're still innovating new products line. Producing the natural youth. So that's the aim of our business, to make sure people move away from using harmful chemicals and using the natural way. And Jamaican are quite health and natural conscious, so definitely we have some sort of niche there. But we'll, in terms of we kind of have a few ideas of what we would like to probably use as well, because in terms of some of the shelf life of Jamaica, the heat. I don't think some of our products will do well like some of the kid because the heat. But like our deodorants and like our hair products, the serums and all that bit, those will do all right. Because those are the heat doesn't really matter. They can manage the heat better. So that's why we look. So the hair care products will do well, and some of the deodorant and so forth, and some of the other lines.
Those are natural deodorants that you make, Leighton?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, natural deodorant. Yes.
That's one of the things I'm looking into, right? As you said before, Jamaicans are health conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And where I have been doing my research as it regards to, cancer and things like that. And what I found out was that a lot of the deodorants that we use now
Very
are
harmful.
contributors to cancers.
Correct.
And
Correct.
So I've been looking at, what options, because I recently had to start giving my 5-year-old deodorant.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I was searching to see what has the least. I forgot what the name of the chemical is, but I was looking to see which one would have been most natural for him. And the first place I went was Amazon.
Yep.
So if I knew about you, I could have, reached out to you instead.
Needs to be aluminum free.
Definitely.
Aluminum free. That is it.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
is it.
That's
Thank
it.
you, Michelle.
Definitely.
So
That's it.
right
Exactly.
away, Simba is asking what we can do together. Send your products to Jamaica. Send a box of them, whatever, and I put them in my store. And you market it, tell them that it's available in Jamaica, XYZ place, and we'll distribute and sell them for you.
Yes, definitely. That's definitely one of the things we're looking into
We
as
do
well.
have a
But yeah,
storefront. We're in close to New Kingston, so it's pretty central. We're
all
on
right.
Lady Musgrave Road, so
Yeah.
we can talk more about that.
Yeah.
But Silver,
Yeah, go on, Lester. Yeah. I'll exchange a link
I just
for Kiddis and Leighton as well. Lester,
Sure,
go
no
on.
problem.
just today, or was it yesterday, Kiddis? I link up Kiddis with a Jamaican fashion designer, clothing brand from the Netherlands. It's a Jamaican girl over here, and so she supported Kiddis business also. So it's about serious networking. It's about putting yourself in an opportunity where you can expand your business, just like what you do a while ago with
Yes.
Leighton and Kiddies. You know, the shirt that I'm wearing now is Kiddies Make It, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, this is
OMG.
Kiddies, right? Well,
Hold on.
my
Hold on.
wife,
Hold on.
my wife
Hold
had
on.
this made
Hold
for
on.
me.
Hold on. Hold
My
on.
And
Hold on.
I'm
wife,
sure if we go all
Let me
around the
let me big
house,
it up.
we can
Big it
find
up.
a lot more things from Jesse's.
You mean Vita make
yeah.
that for you?
So my wife had this made for me.
I
And
mean,
he got that in the Netherlands, I think, within 5 days of her placing
it,
the order.
it's it's all
Well,
about creating a niche,
Yeah.
find a niche, and making it yours. For
That
example, a cousin of mine down in Monique, he started an ambulance company a couple of years ago, right? And he's now providing services to it, most of the major hotels on the coast.
and that's definitely something that's needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I must say I'm quite pleased for him
Mm.
because the hard work that he puts in going to launches and all that. Yeah, it's something that we as we as a people need to find find a common ground of
Hmm.
something that we are passionate about, and not just to do something because your friend or your neighbor is doing it. Because
I like that you use the word passion, Herbert, because
Yeah.
one of the things for me was that when I ended my fellowship with Jamaica House, I told myself that after those 2 years, I wouldn't go work for anybody again.
Mm.
Right? It was kind of a scary move to make, especially coming out of a pandemic in 2022, right? And so when I was going into it, I was like, a little bit half in, half out. But I
Yeah.
also told myself that if I'm passionate about what I'm doing, I will make sure it works and
Yeah.
I'll see the reward. And here I am over a year later with zero regrets.
And
well,
I mean,
But
for argument's sake, let me give you an example for one of the things that I what goes in my head. I put this up now, which is D. Dion, my assistant producer for the show. That's her stuff which
mm,
she creates. She create websites and she create my website, and a few persons I will sort of when they say they want a website or something, I link them to D. If anything, Katie and Kim, who does her books, she's talking to D about creating a website because she's also going to promote her books on CVM on those TV stations in Jamaica. And we said to her, don't do it yet until you get your website so you can direct people to the website. And so what we're doing at the same time is to see how we can help people along the way. And just like with Leighton, because just like how I heard Lester talk about kiddies, I just brought
mm.
you on kiddies because I know you. And because I know Leighton, because I support Leighton, I just message him and say, come on, and
That's
just create that synergy right there. Am I right, Leighton? Yeah,
yes, yeah, you're
Sil-
correct, Burn. Yeah,
you know, and
you
Leighton,
always.
Silburn,
yes, go on, yeah,
Silburn. I
yeah,
must have to say this, Silburn.
yeah,
One of my very good friends in Jamaica, in Senton, Claudine Sidial, also is a very, very resourceful person, you know. And any business that Vita and I have to take care of in Jamaica remotely, right? Claudine Sidial is the one that does it for us.
and for the
it's
record, ladies
related
and
to
gentlemen,
Seymour.
that's
Good
that's
people.
that's, that's my little big sister. She swears she's bigger than me, man.
And you know what is so interesting? You see,
Yeah,
you said that I am the plug, right? And I'll find the help wherever. You see, Lester, the amount of rooms Lester called my name in that I am not in. Perfect example what happened this evening, right?
yeah,
Mm,
He's always calling my name or calling people's name or always supporting. Like anything Lester wants, if kiddies can't listen, if I can't even do it, it's me doing it. Because
mm,
I have to figure it out and get it done. And
yeah,
respect goes out to him as well for doing that, right? Because he's all the way in the Netherlands, all the way in Europe. he has no obligation to be
And I'm still
supporting
support you.
Jamaica
That's nice.
are doing, doing what he's doing. And as I said before, it's not just me. Like anybody who he knows that does whatever, him
Yeah.
going to be supporting them or using them to do whatever. I'm sure he can get shirts in the Netherlands or anywhere else for that matter.
Mm.
But he order from me, I ship them to him, and
Mm-hmm.
we get it done. And
Yes.
and his wife is not doing the same thing too. When it was Christmas coming up, she's like, "Okay, kiddies, I need this for Lester," and
And
I
and, and,
as
and
she
that's all.
ordered.
And that is all because of talking sip that him have a wife.
Don't it? Full circle moment. So
Oh wow, wow,
she ordered the
wow.
So
tumbler. I
we,
got it
we,
done. It was
we,
shipped. I think you got it before Christmas.
listen,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah.
I want to, Leighton. I
Yes,
don't know
yes.
how long you have Leighton, but Leighton, if you can tell us about your business and tell us about the vision that you have for your business, and have you been thinking about tapping into Jamaica? Because I know you're tapping into the African Caribbean diaspora here and teaching how to use products, but have you been thinking about Jamaica?
Well, I literally just come back from Jamaica as you speak at the moment. My passion is in Jamaica 100% in many
Yeah.
ways.
Mhm.
I say we have other windows. 'Cause we have another company we call All Things Jamaica, where we do Jamaican brand and memorabilia and souvenirs and things for that as well. So we always touch base in that arm as well in other aspect of what we do for Jamaica and bringing natural products in herbs, teas, things like that. So we're always in support in getting things here in the UK for people who cannot get those things. So these are the things that we support because people need these herbs, teas, remedies, just to get their natural you. But going forward for 2024, really, it's just to um, refine our business a bit more and looking at more other avenues to go into. We have a few things working on at the moment. Just circling in a little before we start running because there's a few things over the Christmas holiday we had to go through. So we're just making things iron out this year. But we definitely the vision is definitely moving forward. We have a lot of we did remember the project we did the event. It
Yes,
was
yes.
really well. It did very well, Silver. After this you had a funeral to go to in Jamaica. That's probably why. But my wife did so well that the turnout. We had a really good. Thanks to you promoting that show as well, and we had a good event. So it really turned out well. So we definitely be doing more. Having a few more events booked out for this year. We're still looking places at the moment to confirm, but definitely we do. I'll let you know when that is confirmed and then take it from there. But definitely we have a few things looking at that as well. So doing more events coming forward, promoting, have more space for other people to,
Yeah.
because we definitely a lot of other vendors were there and they're all happy to come back and do support. So definitely want to have that to promote other business as well. To grow, just like we are growing, they are growing as well. So that was really good
Can I
for
just
us
ask?
next year.
Can I just ask you while you're there, and I'll say it. I'm sure you don't mind me saying, because you're published.
Yes.
While your car was stolen, what did it do on that while you're doing business? What you talk about? What
You know what? That
thinking?
was
Yeah.
a really dumb moment because it happened the same day. I had a funeral to attend in Jamaica at the same time. That same evening was coming from the funeral because my wife was here because that's where we are at the moment. And that same evening, coming from the funeral, the car was stolen. And but we just keep going on still. There's nothing lost. At least no life was taken. That's the key thing. So that's certain things that happens to you makes you actually pushes even more that you have to give it more. So that's why we have to adjust a few things and go. It wasn't a greatest experience, and even was so torn in two places because my wife was here the Saturday to get that event, and the event was the Tuesday. The first Saturday event went through. Tuesday had a funeral. And the van was sold this Tuesday night, so it's very close. And then traveling, before then she traveled afterwards to meet me. So we just came back, but it just taught us how that you know we're on the right track and
Mm,
definitely putting things even more in place,
mm,
more things to do in terms of it's all about resilience. Stillburn, you have to know to take these different challenges, and these challenges either make you or break you. It actually makes you stronger because we are still standing. We're not close. We have
yeah.
we are people still, even though we put our we put that the store was closed because we're out. We had actually people still putting order. There's people that don't understand. We know that we're not available. So definitely, we have our interest and we have our people who are still supporting us 100%. So we know we definitely Monday coming, getting orders back out and then start moving forward and getting running back things in order. So definitely, it hurt us a bit.
Yes.
It did hurt us a bit, because we definitely need it for transport, getting things around, and we use it for moving goods and so forth and for work. So it's a multiple purpose. So we're just confirming things to move forward for when things are sorted, we can pick things up. But
So
it definitely is. It's not easy. But we
Yeah.
in pitfall, you have the pitfall in business. But the key things, when you're over 5 years, you can be more resilient. You know how to cope, and it's something new for us. So we definitely overcome it.
One of the things, and I this write up which I did before, and this it just fits in rightly, where it says, in this dynamic landscape where innovations know no boundaries, creating successful ventures 2024 beckon us to embark on a transformative expedition, embracing the shared heritage, um, show, and aspiration that bind African and Caribbean that embark on this journey together, creating and embracing collaboration. And I believe that this is what is happening. I have my plans for the show, but I'm opening it for different persons. Let's
Mm.
so
let's
let me so
oh, yeah,
Silver, for us in the UK, right? If we're going along this line, do you think we should open an expo to allow Black Caribbean African people to come in, showcase what they have, what they do in our effort to boost their business?
it is.
I definitely agree with that, right? Because
Mm,
I saw a post earlier today. It said that you can have a winning product, but until you get that product in front of the right market, the world won't know about it, right?
mm,
So I might sell a top, for example, that everybody loves locally. But if I don't put that top in front of people in the UK, in the US, and Canada, they won't know how good it is. Stanley
mm,
has been around for years as a company that makes electronics and equipment and things like that. Stanley recently started selling tumblers, and the tumblers. I don't know if you've been hearing about the craze with the Stanley tumbler, but if you Google Stanley tumblers right now,
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube.
the
At
tumblers have
Target.
turned Stanley. They have sold multi-billion-dollars worth of Stanley cups, and Stanley has been around for years. But guess what? They did not have the right product in front of the right audience, but now they
mm.
do, and the company is making a huge comeback because of that. So it's always good to, as much as you can, get the exposure. Try to see if you can tap into new markets. That's one of our goals for our company this year as well, to try to get to the diaspora some more, because we do have products that people in the diaspora can benefit from.
One of the things that always happen every time you have an independence bit, I always get people reach out to me, and I think at one time I
You
messaged
did.
you, but that
Hmm.
was like it was a rush thing, isn't it? At the time,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
person wanted it quick. But definitely there's that need for a seamless sort of where people can tap into those things
Like
and
a
people want.
one-stop shop, pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
I
yeah,
mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's all well and good that we have people, we have resourceful people, but for people who are not and does not have the entrepreneurial spirit or the capabilities, I think we should be able to have something where we can bring those people in under one building at the
mm,
same time to tap into their thing, because kiddies does their thing, but there's another person who does baking or catering, and they can piggyback off each other.
yes.
So I think having an expo with even though Kid is in Jamaica, but she can sell a product here
Yes.
and get them display. I mean, there's nothing to lose.
Yes. And definitely, thanks for Kiddies for coming on. She had to dash, as you know, it was a short minute that she came on. And definitely, Leighton, I will link you with Kiddies. Kiddies want to link with
Thank
you.
you.
We saw the link there. Lester, you
Just
sorry,
be-
you sent me
before
some
we go,
sorry, go on, Robert.
yeah, I was just talking to my cousin in Jamaica. He's unable to make it tonight, but
Okay.
he has built an ambulance company from bottom up.
Yeah.
Right? He services super clubs, all the Sandals resorts, and everything in between. Um, he's a bit of a what I call a shrewd businessman,
Mm.
and he makes it work along the between Otrius and Montego Bay.
Yes.
You know, his the company is, let me tell you, is EGAS Ambulance Services,
Mm.
right? And I think when you see someone like this who has spent all their life in Jamaica, or most of their life in Jamaica, can come up with such an idea,
Yes.
right? It goes to show that there's still persistent people in Jamaica who will go to the
Yes.
lengths to provide quality service, because service is what people need, and you
Yes.
provide a service that you'd like people to give to you.
Yes. Okay, thanks for that very much. Lester, can I just ask you the image that I put out there, you said to promote it. You can explain it, Lester.
Oh yeah, this is one of the CEOs of the company, Yardi Trends. So
Uh,
she is here in the Netherlands, and she and her husband have this clothing line, and they have different dancehall themes, or Aki and Salfish, and just different, even some one line, the patwa type things, so different. So if you go on yarditrends.com, you can see
yes,
a variety of kiddies clothes, ladies, um men, different type of stuff that you can order, t-shirts and stuff like that.
yes,
But it's a Jamaican trying to, stay in abreast with the culture, and also
yes.
advertising the culture, because it's all the words on the shirt is Jamaican culture, you know,
Mm,
on the shirt, and the products that she has.
mm, mm. Yeah, that's very interesting there. So Michelle,
Yeah.
or Michelle gone. So Herbert, what we
Mm.
have seen here just now, we are seeing where it depends on how we utilize our minds and pulling people together, because right there and then we have seen how there's a massive collaboration that something can go great with Lekelas, Leighton, and Kiddis in Jamaica, Leighton over here in the UK, and pulling things together. Myself here, D here, you here, we can do great wonders. Isn't that
Yeah.
so? Mm, you know, and while the government has to set the environment as well, I don't think so, I think sometimes we give I'm gonna say it. Sometimes we give it's like some people sometimes blame the devil for something, and the devil got to God and say, I know me, are the people that I mean, sometimes we are
I
blame.
mean, I think sometimes people are too quick to look to the government,
Yeah,
right? It's like you're going to them with your hand wide open, looking for handouts,
yeah,
instead of tapping into your resources,
yeah,
right? If you don't tap into your resources, as hard as you try, the government won't help you. it's like you're going to a bank seeking a loan and you do not have the capital for the loan.
Yes. Yes.
So I think sometimes people give government too much of a bad name or a bad rap instead of trying something for themselves. If it doesn't work, then you can probably go to someone else and say, "Oh, I was trying this, but it doesn't seem to be working. Can you guide me
Yes.
into the correct direction?" But
And
I think
you know,
Yeah. Go on.
you know, Silbert and Herbert and Leighton. We just this is an example though. You know, we say kiddies have tangible products and Leighton have tangible products and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're also and like with D's product is intangible where it's digital, it's electronic.
Yes.
And your sister Silburn, trust me,
Yeah.
I don't know how much she tell you or how much Vita tell you, but
Yes.
like the bank account that we have, the JMB account, right?
Mm.
It is because of your sister's connection that let us get that account and such a short period of time and with ease, you know. So it's also intangible services, right? When the taxes for us to do taxes for our business and stuff like that, right? It is your sister that spearheads that and stuff like that. So people who are overseas who have interest in Jamaica or want to do certain things. There are intangible aspects also that is very, very important that needs the persons on the ground to do it for us. And
Yes.
also, there are also information is key because there are many things that people don't know that can be done online now that is
Yes.
available. And a lot of people in the diaspora don't know. It's just 2 days ago, I was telling one of my friends in New York that there are certain things that he can pay his land taxes online. You know, he can do his driver's license renewal. He can apply for passport online. There's many things that you can do
Lester, can you
online
send me
now.
that link?
You know, which one?
Driver's license.
Yeah, man, no problem, man.
Driver's license link.
No,
Yeah,
not
for
the
renew.
backdoor link you talk. Not let's Silver, not the backdoor deal link you're talking about. We're talking about legitimate renewal of
Legitimate,
driver's license.
legitimate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from Kingston, so we only do legitimate things, not from people from Ochias who do, you know.
Shady things.
Hang on. Back up a second. Who's from Otrius here? Who's from Otrius?
Silver, you.
No, I know I'm from
From
Otrius,
Orchard.
but there's another person that keep claiming to be Otrius, man.
No,
Because
no.
let's-
Silver.
yeah,
The
I
man
know.
said
Yes.
he used to take the bus from out of Shell gas station to Otrius to be badness. He never says from Otrius.
Yeah, but he's been claiming D, and
No.
he's been
He
claiming.
never
Otrius
said he was
because-
from Otrius. He said he took the bus to Otrius to this badness.
Okay,
Thank you,
okay.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Hey, Herbert.
So for the record,
Herbert.
I'm from Otrius then. I'm from Otrius. There's no doubt about it then. Because some people was trying to question
Herbert.
it.
Yes.
Herbert. Look how Ochias people wicked. Them a claim, so them have an airport, you know. The airport, they've in a center, you know.
St. Mary.
Them a claim a whole airport, you know. Right?
I didn't know Otrius people were claiming that. You know what I mean, I think
Silver.
the government.
Yes.
I think the government is
Silver.
trying to say it's Otrius because they know. So,
You're like Vladimir.
I'm sorry,
You're like Vladimir.
Vladimir. We call him Putin. Leighton, are you here? Leighton, can we talk
I'm
business?
he- I-
Leighton? Can you talk some
I'm
business?
here, man. Well, the older man claiming their orchards, you know. You're the yourself supposed to claim orchard race, man. So nobody here promote orchard race more than you, Silverburn. So you're the older man. So you can't take yourself out of that one, Silverburn. You have to undo all those blogs they've been doing and those things to say you're not orchard. So you have to do some new arts.
And that would be all the blogs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything. Well, listen, guys. This is good, and I believe and I think with D as well. Did
Yes,
Lester get the emoji passport? No, I don't think you can get the passport. I revoked that backside.
Uh,
um, I think Leighton, we have to try to develop on this more, some connections with Jamaica and the UK as well, because even with the hair business as well, there's some other persons who are talking about it beforehand, and it is like the trail went cold. So we have to sort of make sure that those things have been is
Follow
revived.
through with it. Mm.
You know.
Oh, certainly. Definitely. As I said, it's a good time now at the beginning of the year to get these things. And it's a good timing for your program as well to get this year running on the right footing and definitely to get it activated and then give that momentum because it can't, Jamaica has a lot to offer globally,
Yeah.
locally. And the only things I find problem in Jamaica is just the maintenance and these some of the things. The ideas are there, but they're not followed through and carried on to maintain. But we have better entrepreneurs who are doing. Some people are doing really good on it. It's just more people just to be more consistent to have that um, standard
Yeah.
of good service going all the way through. I think that's the next thing forward. But
Yeah.
definitely we put some legs on it as soon as possible and just let me know how to proceed and we do that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, Leighton, and sorry to Caroline as well, and thank you
Yeah,
so
we
much for coming on, and as well, I will send Kitty's details to you, and of course, I've got your details. I'll send it to Kitty's as well, and then you guys can and have that communication and that discussion, and then we can see the results of this as well. Yeah.
yeah,
And to my friend,
definitely.
money is still not outrageous. So don't
And
even go there.
no, no, no,
That's my
no.
that's
No,
my cousin. That's my cousin that owns the ambulance company.
is that your cousin, Andrew Mullins?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
He's from
yeah,
he's from money.
yeah, but Andrew actually has come onto the show, and Andrew actually has said checking in for money minutes from Ultras. I'm the one who is supposed to
Me some
approve.
outrageous is not
Yeah,
outrageous.
yeah, but I'm the one who is supposed to approve him to say that it's okay. Uh, I've got the legal authority, you know. So Andrew Mullins, big up. I will appoint you, anoint you as an Ochi man. That
Very
shows
good. But
how I have. Remember, my sister is the president down there, you know, and I'm the de facto over here. Andrew Mullins, big up. See, Andrew said one love, you know what I mean? Yeah, give Andrew power, you know what I mean? All right, Leighton, listen, have a good one, yeah?
yes. Yeah, thank you. And Herbert, big up to nice to see you as well. Yeah.
Nice to hear you, Leighton.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, and Leighton, we'll talk more about the other things and stuff like that, yeah?
No worries. No further. And thanks for having us tonight. And
Yeah,
have a
man.
good one. Keep up the good work as
Yes,
you
sir.
do.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Leighton. Respect.
Bye bye.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Leicester is well, this is great. I think this is a great start. You know, I was wondering how it's going to work out, and it shows you at the tip of your finger how things can pull together. As we're talking, contact Kiddies, she came in. Contact Leighton, he came in as well. D is here as well, and to see how we can create synergy. Leicester promoting different persons, and I think that is fantastic. You know.
Yes.
What's your last word, sir? Before I switch on to
I
something.
mean, it just goes to show what a community is and can be.
Mm.
You know, I mean, they say it takes a village to raise a child, it also takes a child to burn the village down.
Yes, yes, yes. To keep them warm or something like that. They said, you
Yeah.
know. There is a couple of things which came on. I do for the last bit there. I want to touch on the airplane bit. That is if Lester was here. But there are two press releases that came out of Jamaica recently, and these press releases refer to advocacy network. There are some different some different networks in Jamaica that try to somehow keep the transparency and accountability of the government at hand. And while we talk about the business, at the same time, we're talking about how to have effective government. And Advocacy Network Renew calls for better governance and human rights in 2024. And the Advocacy Network is calling Jamaicans to renew their push for better governance, greater accountability, and transparency for the island, while building on the lessons learned and takeaways from 2023. Um, and what they're saying, one, the Integrity Commission, after more than 2 years, the Jamaica Prime Minister has not yet satisfied the requirements of the Integrity Commission to be certified under an anti-corruption legislation, and we continue to urge the IC to prioritize the completion of a timely review of the Integrity Commission Act 2017. However, we encourage Jamaicans to pay close attention to the amendments or to be proposed in 2024. And they talk about corruption and cronyism continue to be a major concern. The Stocks and Securities Limited SSL multi-million-dollar fraud has raised several questions about Jamaica's financial regulatory framework, such as, did the Financial Service Commission report to the Minister of Finance the reason for their not paying the workers who are helping to unravel the accounts of SSL? If so, what is the reason? What documentation is there that establishes that the public funds advanced to pay the workers and operational expenses will be repaid to the government of Jamaica? If SSL is insolvent, what legal advice has the government of Jamaica received on the security of taxpayers' funds given for lend to pay the disgruntled staff and cover some operational expenses? It goes further. Who will be held accountable for the poor security that led to the break-in and theft of SSL laptop computers, including one belonging to the SSL chief financial? There's more. Public bodies management accountability, unacceptable, unconscionable, and unfair pay increase, constitutional reform. They talk about a free republic, human rights, crime and violence. There's a lot here, Herbert. That is a lot of meat that people can actually dig in. But are people interested in these things?
No, because the reason why they won't be interested in it, right? This report does not have enough scandal in it. It is more of what you say is a deeper look into the happenings behind the scenes, right?
Yes.
If the report was mentioning names,
yes,
people would have been more taken to it, reading it more to see who the culprits were. In other words, if the case was being tried in the public sphere, like the court of public opinion, right, there have been more attached to it. But this, all these languages are too complicated for the common man to pick up and read, so they're not going to read it.
So what you're saying then, based on the report, is that while the report is there and it says a lot, but it's not actually going to reach to the people, the mass of people, which it is deemed to want to also educate.
Yeah, it is going to reach to them, but they're not going to look at it.
Yes.
Because if you're in London and you have access to it, people in Jamaica have access to it too. But for one, it is not concise enough for people to sit and read. Some people do not have the attention span to sit and read a document that long.
Yeah.
Right.
That means and ladies and gentlemen, one of the things which I plan to do starting next week Sunday, not this Sunday, next week Sunday, with with Professor Rosalie Hamilton, who is the co-chair of Advocacy Network, is to break down these into bite-sized chunks and to how do we sort of cascade it down to people so they can understand as much as possible, because what we realize is that sometimes a lot of things are discussed in these programs or so, but there's not enough time for it to be what should I say, explained in a more bite-sized chunk so people can understand really, you know yeah, so that is something that we want to do, and your point is taken, and I'll also say that to her as well. I'll say that to them as well. But the press release is one thing, but it is for persons like myself or whatever who is to break it down, need to maybe take out bite-sized chunks and to sort of
Yes.
explain it a bit more, because Daniel from national national integrity action says, when the question was put to her as well, what's your takeaway or what do you want for 2024? And what she said, to 2023 confirmed the intractable and complex path Jamaica travels. We survived an earthquake and have been recognized for economic stability, yet we still are on a marking time when handling corruption. And she said NIA has also grave concerns about an increasing trend that takes place. Public servants reputations above their office. These trends call for the implementation of a parliamentary code of conduct and the passing of an unexplained wealth order legislation. For 2024, NIA wants to see what the words put into action in relation to one, increased respect for the Integrity Commission and abandonment of proposal to reduce its authority, swift prosecutions of politicians against whom there are allegations of illicit gain. Three, clear citizen centered path towards the implementation of constitutional reform. And four, strengthening parliamentary oversight of the executive by the prompt tabling of the Integrity Commission and Auditor General reports, as well as timely response to questions on the order, paper, and private member motions. What do you think about two, swift prosecutions of politicians against whom allegations of illicit gain are? What do you think about that? Will that ever see the light of day? The night of in Jamaica? You're laughing.
Yeah, because not even Oliver Samuels could give you a bit of comedy session. You will never see that happening in Jamaica. No, it won't happen. Because as I've always said, people in Jamaica worship politicians than the policies that are put in place. Right? And even though the politicians are rubbing them blind, they rather see more robbing, more backhanded business going on than them being brought to justice. I think the last minister that was prison was the Labour minister back in the 90s when he stole workers' money.
Dr. Ford, Dr. Jephthah
No.
Ford.
No, it wasn't Jephthah Ford.
Yes.
There's a Labour minister back in the 90s. He was sentenced. He was given a custodial sentence and sent down to St. Mary to serve his part of the sentence because he stole the farm workers' money.
Okay.
Right? I think he was the last minister to be sent to prison.
Okay. Was he the first?
Other ministers. I'm not sure if he was the first, but other ministers have committed criminal acts since then, and from both sides, and nothing happened.
Yes.
So this is like asking an Eskimo to go live in the desert.
But how do you see something like this could ever happen? Is there a way, if certain things are in place, like for argument's sake, if both parties sign up to some clear code and they're willing to wash their hands and to support it all the way, or they will all take a party line and pull back and close ranks?
No, it will not happen. For example, when Greg Christie releases reports, Who is the first person to call for him to resign? The Prime Minister,
Mm.
right? And Greg Christie is telling the people of Jamaica
Mm.
what is going on in Jamaica,
Yes, yes.
right?
Have a good
He's
night,
not
Michelle.
telling
I will
people,
say good
good
night to
night,
me.
Michelle.
Good night, Michelle. Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
He's not telling people what is going on in Washington or in London.
Mm.
He's talking about what's going on in Jamaica.
Yes.
But the Prime Minister of Jamaica and his cronies are calling for his resignation.
Mm.
So if you're going to wait and see a speedy trial and arrest of politicians, drink as much coffee or coffee tea or whatever you want to call it. Just sit and wait
Yes.
and
Yes.
see if it will happen. It won't happen.
Someone just said a while ago. Um. Someone just said a while ago. On TikTok. Jamaica Cabinet Office is a business for profit corporation. There's no government or democracy. That's what someone said on TikTok there. Jamaica Cabinet Office. But in looking for solutions, and we're talking about constitutional reform. If the constitutional reform takes place in a very strategic way, whereby you have accountability, transparency, government officers being recalled, signing up to the code of conduct, the seven key areas, and sorry, I didn't realize that you went, yeah,
Yeah.
signing up to these different areas. Then, and we talk about the vision 2030. I'm maybe living in a pipe dream world, but somehow I believe that it must and it should be able to be done if good people call these things out. You know?
But Silver,
Yeah.
Jamaican politicians are like cats.
Yes.
You throw them on their back and they land on your feet.
Yes.
Right? Let's go back. Let, let's go back as far as well in the 90s. Right? Or after Gilbert, the
Yes.
Zinc scandal,
Yeah.
of which you may well be aware of.
Mm.
Was anything done to anybody? No.
Yeah.
The Shell scandal. What happened?
I shall return.
I shall return, and return he did.
Mm.
Right? The Trafigura scandal.
Mm. They're still in court.
They're
Or
still in
still-
court.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
So you can go back as far as you want. And these people are still earning money from the Jamaican public.
And nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Mm.
So why do we think in 2024 we are going to see the unthinkable? Tell me.
Yeah. Somebody just said there will never be. He said, and this is a strong indictment what this person is saying.
Yeah.
Being a citizen is the lowest status a person can be.
Yeah.
Being a citizen, the lowest status a person can be. Mean to say
Yeah.
that one doesn't have any power, isn't it? Nothing can go on, you know. Thanks for that there, you know. It is very interesting. It's very interesting, but we're gonna follow up these programs and these discussions and try.
Silver,
Yeah, go on. Yeah,
out of 180 countries, yes,
yes.
Jamaica's position on the CPI, the Corruption Perception Index, as of 2022, Jamaica was ranked 69 out of 180 countries.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
And in terms of press freedom, Jamaica is in the bottom half of 50. That
Yeah.
means that no matter what you do, it's like pulling teeth out of a chicken.
Mm.
You can't get no information from the administration or agents of the state.
Yes.
So
Somebody. Yeah. Go on. Go on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's an embarrassment
Yeah.
to the people of Jamaica when they realize that the people that they have faith in
Mm.
to adjudicate over their lives
Yeah.
are pulling the wool over their faces.
Yeah, thanks for that, and thanks TikTok, because there's a lot of activity on TikTok there. I think, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that we're seeing is that the platform crosses different areas: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. But on TikTok, someone just said, "Why do you think your name is in block capitals on all documents?" The person also said, "Go look what the word citizen means. It means corporation, not a living man or woman." Now, Herbert, I don't know if you hear what I just said. Someone said, "Go look what the word citizen means." I don't know where it means to look at. Is it in the Constitution or what? Because I'm just went to Google. I know what a citizen is, but let me just type it in, and I type in citizen, and it says meaning of a citizen in English: a person who is a member of a particular country and was rights because of being born there or because of being given rights, or a person who lives in a particular town or city. The interests of British citizens living abroad are protected by the British Embassy. Who is considered to be a citizen? All persons born or naturalized, okay, they say in the United States, to the jurisdiction thereof. Um, if I could ask this person on TikTok, if you can break down where is it that you look for citizenship? Look for the Black's Law definition of citizen. Definition of citizen. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
That,
mean,
yeah.
one become a citizen by birth, naturalization, or marriage,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
But in some countries, it goes a step further
yes,
by the millions.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
is that the same? Is is that the case in Jamaica? I'm not sure.
Mm,
I know about the three birth, naturalization, or marriage, but I'm
yes,
not sure if someone wants to invest in Jamaica, like is a foreign national, wants to invest heavily in Jamaica, if that will allow him to become a citizen
yeah.
as in other Caribbean countries,
Mm,
right? And that in itself is a place where you're walking down the road and you don't know who you're inviting into your house.
yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, I was inviting Jamaica citizens to come on to the show to talk about that on TikTok. But in our last minute, we move on from that bit there. We've seen the press releases, which are very crucial, where the Advocacy Network, National Integration Action, and also JAMP. We're hoping to get some more information from that. But Herbert, okay, sorry, he's at work. He can't talk. No problem. Thanks. Herbert, there's been some recent incident over the year. I think it's over the year, and of recent days, there's been a little girl, 14 years of age, who was being pounced upon and beaten by some woman because her mother was involved with a man, and maybe a man of one of these ladies or so. So they couldn't catch Quaker, so they shot and they beat her up. I think she's in hospital, and then I'll just set the stage properly. Let me, because I have the images here. So the so this is a image there. 7 charge in relation to 14-year-old beaten over alleged love triangle, and there's 5 females in custody for alleged beating teen girl in Clarendon. Okay, and then before that, some time ago, there's this beautiful girl there, Danielle Rowe. Um, she was being she was killed.
She was abducted from her school just outside her school in Portmore in Britain.
Yeah, Yes.
and a motorist found her on Hope Road, I think it was in
Yeah.
Kingston, with her
Throat
throat
slash.
slashed.
Yes.
Yeah, she died in hospital.
Dead. And then there was the other incident. I don't have didn't have the image of the mother and the daughter. Peter Philip Powell's daughter,
Yeah, murdered.
who was also killed.
Yeah,
Um, and the mother was also killed. But what I see link all of them together, Herbert, is that the parents' actions have a direct impact upon the children, which is unfortunate. Mother, one was going for the mother, didn't get the mother, they go for the daughter. The sperm lover with the Daniel Rowe, I think they said the
yes,
ex girlfriend, bam,
yes.
kill the girl, and therefore also Philip Powell,
Forward.
yeah, the girlfriend organized this or whatever like that. Are children safe?
In Jamaica.
Well, yeah, children safe in a way.
No,
Somebody said to me,
no,
Silver, they have never been safe.
no,
As it got worse.
no. If you go back, I remember when I was stationed in Kingston in the
Yeah.
mid-90s. 3 children were sitting on a street in East Kingston,
Mm.
and I'll call them an animal. Just walk up to them with a high powered weapon and spray them
Yes.
on the side of the road,
What year,
innocently.
what year was that for argument?
This was 96,
96. Mm.
yeah, right?
Mm.
A couple years ago,
Yes.
a young man was going home from school in Kingston. Because of his mobile phone, he was murdered.
Yes.
Remember the case of the X5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mace, the KC guy, Mace.
yeah.
Forget his name, but his surname was Mace.
So, children in Jamaica have never been safe.
Yeah.
You see, we live in a society where sometimes people blame children for their downfall,
Yeah.
right? It's horrible, horrendous.
Mm.
If a young girl was raped, and I've seen it in the past, she was the one who caused it because she pushed herself upon the perpetrator,
Yes.
right? It's not like what a wicked man, why he should have done that. It's always the victims getting the blame,
Yeah.
right? The recent one of the most recent one, this guy was sentenced to prison recently.
Mm.
He was working with this girl at somewhere in Kingston,
Yeah.
and he offered her a ride.
Yes.
And during the ride, he took her to the back road, killed her, dumped her, and went to work.
Is that the mechanic guy in Portmore?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. A friend of mine. Is used to be involved with the sister actually. Yeah.
Right.
Sister girl. Yeah.
So
mm.
the question is, how are children being tasked of looking after themselves when they have living parents, mother, father? Who should be protecting the children? Because they cannot blame the government for looking after their children.
Yeah.
That's why they have parents. And if the parents are not capable of looking after their children, then you have aunties and uncles, and because sometimes the parents are not capable of looking after their children because of financial or maybe illness. So a family member step in. But when the family members step in, they themselves abuse the children.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
The children cannot take care of themselves.
Mm. And you're right about it. You can't blame government. You can't blame police because normally these people will only come after the fact. You know.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
But the prime minister has also said something, and I believe it is right in a sense. Um, there's a mental health issue at the same time because what can possess? I've not seen the video. I've not watched the video. What can possess women, people, let's say people, to kick up and beat up a girl which is not of their size, and they have that overwhelming. It reminds me of hyenas, you know,
Yes.
hyenas going for their prey, and
Yes.
they don't go for the lions or so, they go for those who are
No.
weak, and they just circle them,
That's right. That's
and
correct.
they go for the kill.
That's
And,
correct.
and even with the issue with the little girl, Philip Powell daughter, they said the little girl was even playing, or the gunman was saying she was playing with him, or so, innocently, but at the same time, somewhat, you know, will kill a child, you know.
Well, there's this I would call ignorance,
Mm,
right? Or lack of empathy
mm,
towards a child or children,
yes,
right? When you look at the fellow up in Chapelton that killed his cousin and her 5 children,
yes, the guy there, yeah,
yeah, or because she told him, "You cannot come to my house to sell weed."
and feel disrespect,
Yes, because his argument was she disrespected him in front of a customer.
yes,
Okay?
mm,
Jamaica was a land of wood and water. Now it's a land of funeral and funeral morgues.
yeah,
Because half of who you find in those morgues are children and women.
yeah. Last night I was, after I did the video which I did, and I posted it out, and I sent it to my some ultras and some family friends. And I remember a neighbor of mine, she messaged me, and we were talking about it, and she said, Seymour, time has different, time change. And we were talking about when we used to walk on our street, and every house that we pass, once there's somebody on the platform, on the veranda, we say hello, good morning, good afternoon. We would never pass if there's, I call out names, Sister Nelson, Brother Nem, Johnson, you know,
Let,
you have
let,
to.
let me
The
let,
dreadlocks
let me
guy.
ask you a question.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Would those women in Clarendon that assaulted that 14-year-old,
Yes.
if they had found the mother,
Yeah.
would they have done that to the mother?
Mm,
And my answer is no, they wouldn't have,
mm,
because the mother is their age, their size,
mm,
right? The child cannot defend herself,
mm.
so they pick on the child. However, if the child had, say, stabbed one of them
Yes.
and they would end up in the hospital dead or something, people would have been saying the child would have been out of order because she has no respect for her adults around her.
Yes.
When in truth and in fact, she was only defending herself.
Defending herself. Yeah. Yeah.
So Jamaica has become a society where people are refusing to have healthy dialogue
Mm.
in trashing out their issues that does not include children. Because nowhere in that did they say the child was having a relationship with the man.
Yeah, yeah. No
So
matter what
how
they say,
comes
yeah.
now you are now laying hands on that child who is not your child?
Mm. New York City said violence has been a part of our culture. Don't forget our violent past. It has never been dealt with systematically as when it was applied. It's obvious to me. Someone a lady in Jamaica messaged me, and she sent these information to me. If I can find the information that she sent to me, and she's up in Jamaica, and she said to me that just like what New York City said, hurt people hurt people. That's how pain patterns get passed on,
Yes,
generation
I
after
am. I
generation
agree
after
with that.
generation. Huh?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But at some point, we have to break the cycle.
Yes. And she said, in my
We
experience with
can't go
children,
around beating up on
yeah,
people's children like that.
yeah. And she said, in my experience with children, I've discovered various levels of abuse from parents, other relatives, as well as members of the community. She's into social service in Jamaica. Jamaica's history, as what New York City said, and I know you are New York City, is seeped in violence, and we often hear spare the rod and spoil the child, which give license to all forms of abuse. We often don't know the true or complete verse from Proverbs 13, verse 24, which states, whoever spares a rod hates, hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. The
Yes.
important word is said here is discipline.
But Silver,
Yeah.
there's a difference between discipline
Mm.
and murderation.
Yes.
Let's get that out of the way,
Yes.
right? You can discipline a child without laying hands on that child,
Mm.
right? Because in my experience, I think when you beat a child, you're teaching a child to fight.
Mm.
So what you give to that child at home, when that child goes to school, church,
Mm.
or anywhere social,
Yes.
they're always looking for a fight. It doesn't matter who it is, what the cause is,
Mm.
right? And until I think because of the parenting age is getting younger and younger
Younger. Yes.
as the decades goes on, and grandmothers are taking care of their grandchildren.
Yes.
The things that the grandchildren can do, the children couldn't do it in the past, right? The grandparents doesn't have the the fortitude to
Mm.
keep up with with their grandchildren's activities. So they're oblivious as to what's going on out
Yeah.
there. So if
Yeah.
anybody come to the grandma and say, say, me see look a granddaughter, son or do something,
Uh,
they take God off of the cross, it is not them. How do you know it is my grandchild?
yes.
And these are some of the problems that we face as a society,
Mm.
right? Because I'm almost certain that these women, or these pack of dogs, I would call them, that set up on this 14-year-old, they're no older than 35 years old,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
right?
Yes.
Pick on someone your size and see what the outcome would have been. Go try it.
Yes. You know what? Yeah. Well, that's a good point to hang off to finish off tonight. Is at at 12 o'clock midnight. Powerful words, and thank you so much, New York City, um, for what you have said in regards to this bit, and speak about what you said. Government not proactive by social intervention. The Prime Minister is talking about Ministry of Peace, talking about ways how to deal with, and they're using a lot of word of mental health. Jody has been talking about mental health for a long time during the course of
Yeah,
COVID
but
period. Yeah,
governments has always find this little excuse of mental health,
yeah,
right? And I think I'm not discounting that people mental health over the years have deteriorated,
Yes.
right? But I think governments should look at their citizenry and find the root cause of the problem instead of blaming it on mental health.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that many people talk about a lot, and it has not happened yet, is that there need to be a time of truth and reconciliation sort of commission or something like that, whereby you get into the root of certain things, you know. But we can't discuss that tonight, you know. But I believe that, as you rightly say, keep going on and on and on, and as Robert says, New York City says, keep going on and on and on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining tonight. Those on Instagram, thank you so much for joining. And on Instagram, it won't be saved because of the platform which it is. If you want to see the full show and a repeat of it or a replay, go on to YouTube, which is Silburn TV, so you can see the details running below. And for TikTok, thank you so much for joining. Remember to follow the host, and remember to like and share as much as possible. To watch a full show, you go on to Silburn TV on YouTube. Facebook likewise. The show is saved on Facebook, and the show is saved instantly on YouTube as well. Well, one of the things tonight that we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is the topic was about venture, and it was about creating successful ventures of 2024, and the Caribbean and the African diaspora as a people. And what I did was linked a Jamaican business lady in Jamaica, Kiddis Cohen, and linked a Jamaican businessman in the UK. He has a family businessman, his wife, Lake Hillis, and link them together to show that things can happen, and they're going to communicate and do business across the waters. Desiree as well, create website, and my sister as well out there in Jamaica. So there's many different ways we can create synergy as well, and we don't have to wait for government to somewhat be the one that make things happen. And also New York City, this is something up your street as well. You talk about African diaspora that we link together. And also I touched base briefly on a couple of the advocacy network in Jamaica with their press releases and their plans for the new year and what they want to see. And it was very interesting, talking about human rights, crime and violence, treatment of Asians, unacceptable, unconscionable, unfair pay increase, the government members not signing up to the integrity code, the code of conduct as well. And one advocacy network, NIA, talks about swift prosecutions of politicians against whom there are allegations of illicit gain. And I'm going to be digging in some more into this. And starting next week, Sunday, I'll be doing a special show with Professor Rosalie Hamilton, looking at how we can break this down further, because Herbert, my co-host, was saying that while the press release is there, it's a lot of words, a lot of people won't have time to understand it. So we're going to break it down in bits and pieces, and set the stage. And hopefully, Herbert, for the next few weeks or so, let's see if we can bring in some sort of linking businesses at some point during the show, to the end of the show, or whatever like that, and create some level of synergy as well. Businesses in the UK, especially some business in the UK as well, bring them together and link them, challenge them as well. Yeah. So have a good night. You good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah. You go sleep now, yeah?
Me? No, I slept when I came from work.
From work, yeah.
I'll be going to work in a little bit.
Yeah. For me, I tend to can't go to sleep right away. I just relax a bit, let a movie watch me or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. God bless you. See you next week. Remember to like and subscribe to the show. Follow me. Follow Herbert as well. Peace out. Bye-bye. Let's go.